Wow.
Spectacular.
Greg Bim, the Marion Catholic High School Band. Let me ask you this question. I was sitting there thinking about this as I was sitting there listening. And I need to take myself out of the equation because I'm a little biased because I live here. Okay, but you are out and about a lot.
Sure.
And feel free, if this is a loaded question, not to answer. People talk about Texas bands. People talk about Fairfax County, Virginia bands.
Mm-hmm.
Do people talk like that about Illinois bands?
I don't think people know.
Wow. They need to. I hope they're watching these because
exactly.
There's what I'm hearing here is, I think equivalent to, and not to put down Fairfax County in Texas and anything like that. I think what we have happening here in the state is on par with the things that are happening there. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm biased because I live here. A lot of these guys are my friends, but I mean, holy cow, the performances that we have heard this afternoon, some of them have just been stunning.
Yeah, some really great music making happening. And that was, the music making that just happened was really great. All of the technical things that were happening. But I just want to, Greg's chart, some of the exposed high horn parts at the end.
Yeah.
Screaming, that was the whole section.
Yeah. Wow.
Brave.
Yeah.
Brave. Yeah, I went up to the stone and just pulled the sword.
Yeah, there it is.
Sword out and went, horns. Together, fourth horn, get up there, above the staff. 2 and 3. It was, it was really, really, I love the idea of the chart as a fellow frequent transcriber of music.
Mm-hmm.
I love all the sounds that he made with the scoring and the choices that he made.
And it works so well for a wind group,
Yeah.
It's it's like listening to Malcolm Arnold. I mean, in my mind, Malcolm Arnold is the greatest British wind band composer that ever lived. Unfortunately, nobody told him, and he wrote everything for orchestra. But it works so well. And the Barber,
Is that a new chart from him? Do you know?
I'm not sure, actually.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but it's.
It was wonderful. And great performance and
spectacular.
I feel that there's different focuses and across the country and different methodologies that make certain things happen or come to be, circumstances that align themselves. But what impresses me frequently about the programs in Illinois is that the circumstances are almost frequently less than ideal.
Yeah.
And the staff is small, if not a staff of one.
Yeah.
Frequently, and the messages are the same. Basics, commitment to the basics, and exposure to great literature, not compromising in that regard whatsoever. Right. And then, but first and foremost is it's nurturing kids, it's forming kids, it's making community, and that's this is the noble pursuit, which is an awesome one. And so to be able to go actually all kinds of places and see it flourishing at a very high level, where you'd think, well, only a college would attempt that, and then to hear sometimes a second band at a school, or in some instances today a middle school, playing repertoire that you'd think, no, that's, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
And have them not only survive it, but achieve
and greatness
and do some great musical things with it. So I think that's the cool message everywhere, and this ability to be able to expose people to this around. But to go back to your initial question, I just don't think people know.
Yeah.
And which is a little bit weird to be saying that at the University of Illinois. One of the center of concert banding, and and with what incredible history surrounding it. So it shouldn't be surprising, actually, to anybody, and certainly not if you know a lot of these music educators. They're great teachers. They're master teachers.
Obviously,
many of them
are doing incredible work out
awesome.
there. And as you said, in many situations, with very limited staff, limited resources, things like that, and it's remarkable, what we're hearing. I mean, I'm kind of speechless over this. I mean, a performance like that, and I mean, we've heard probably a half dozen performances today at least that are easily Midwest caliber.
Yeah,
easily.
For sure. Well, that's actually one of the things I like about festivals that are happening at this time. It's one of the things that I like so much when I go to Texas, actually, about TMEA, is to get to hear a chance to hear a group 3 months post marching band.
Yes.
And mid-season, and is always a very interesting thing. I would always, in some of those instances, I was like, well, I'd like to transport some of those concerts to the third week of May, and see what would happen, and see what kind of achievement we would see. I feel like that too, though, when I've heard all-state bands from around the country, from a variety of states, thinking like, well, this is what happened in 3 days. This is what happened in 48 hours. What would happen in a season?
Yeah.
You know, so that's the wonderful thing about what's happening in the activities still, to hear students play barber.
Yeah.
Like that, where we're all running around scratching our heads thinking, oh man, they're only listening to vacuous music.
Right.
They're listening to both, actually, and surviving the latter. But this is this program, all the programs that we're seeing underpin what Chip said earlier, which is if you lead them towards great music, they'll get it.
Yes.
And want it.
Yes.
And that's the great thing. I think that to be able to, what we're also seeing here is apex, pinnacle programs at a pinnacle moment in a season too, which is important, because I know that one of the things that I've seen that's probably one of the most frequent mistakes made by first, second, third year teachers, sometimes fifth, sixth year teachers, is they're still programming the wind ensemble concert that was their last concert in college.
Yes.
And trying to pull it off with wherever they are.
Yes.
And with rare exception, does that ever work out as a practical programming effort?
Yes. No, I have my own story on that. My first year teaching, I was in a very, very rural school with about, I think I had 23 in the concert band at the high school. I was grade 5 through 12. And it was something like 2 flutes, 4 clarinets, 2 trumpets, 5 saxophones, 2 baritones, and 4 percussion. I mean, that's the kind of instrumentation I had. And so I'm combing through this library because I have no budget for music. And I find something, and I'm looking at the score, and like, I think this will work because it's, minimal parts, things like that. It was Eric Leedson's transcription of Jesu Joy Man's Desiring. Worst decision I've ever made repertoire-wise, because it was a crash and burn, and unfortunately, my young teacher ego wouldn't let that go. Right. Because then I was afraid of, okay, if I back down and let them decide this is too hard, now they've won. And it was a disaster. So I completely understand what you're saying, is you need to take where you're at and build from there, and
for sure.
The good news is there's a lot better literature for groups like that now than there were at that time.
Oh, there's a wonderful curricular ladder that can grow towards the kind of repertoire that we're being heard played today, for sure.
Absolutely. So we need to introduce this next group. This is Bloomington High School. Max Chernick is the conductor, and they are going to be doing Eric Whitacre's Ghost Train in its entirety. Usually we just hear the first movement. We're going to hear all three. Interesting history in this piece. Eric Whitacre wrote this as a student, as an undergraduate student at UNLV for Thomas Leslie. He wandered into a band rehearsal one day and had not been in a band before, and just listened for a 50-minute rehearsal, and approached Leslie and said, "Can I write something for band?" And he said, "Sure, go ahead." And first movement of Ghost Train was the start of that. They played it at CBDNA that year, and the rest is history.
Yeah, amazing.
So,
well, let's take ourselves into the auditorium now and check out Bloomington High School performing Eric Whitacre's Ghost Train under the direction of Max Chernick.